Droners, welcome to another edition of Droners Dialogue, and this one's gonna be an interesting one. It's gonna be like an oldie, but a goodie, because this is a throwback. We're gonna take it way back into the time. Yeah, I did Blackstreet there, if you catch that reference. Either way, we are talking about another weird or interesting story. I'm gonna say this one's weird, a weird story about being a professional drone pilot. So a couple months ago, I get a phone call from my friend who is a prop master. And if you don't know what a prop master is, they're the people who work on movies and TV shows and stuff like that. They're the ones who create all of the things that you use. So it's like, oh yeah, there's gonna be a computer that we use in this. Like they're the ones who either buy it or bring it to you. They're the prop master, whatever. So they needed a specific type of prop for this piece, and that prop was they needed a drone. But what they needed was the drone to actually be a prop that worked. So nobody on that set was a Part 107 license holder, so he knew me. So he hit me up, was like, hey, Brennan, what's up? I'm working on this movie. It should be really interesting. It's like an independent film. And they need a drone pilot, they need a drone. So like, do you think you can do something like that on this date? And I was just like, yes, for money, of course I can do that. And so he's like, all right, cool, let me figure out some more information about it. And he calls me back and he's like, all right, so information, what they want is they want to have a drone that's like kind of like creeping on this girl's window. But there's a catch to it because this movie is set in 2011, so the drone actually has to be from 2011. And I was like, 2011? Like I started flying in like 2013. So I don't really know the drones from 2011. I was like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever, I'll figure it out. So I started doing some research, trying to figure out like what kind of quadcopters you could buy in 2011. So I had a 3DR Iris Plus. That was like my first big drone, or camera drone, I should say. In 2013, so I was like, well, you know, that drone wasn't horrible, so there had to be some stuff before, a couple years before. Bruh, like looking back, drone technology, that's when I learned how quickly drone technology was advancing. In 2011, in like November or December of 2011, Parrot released the AR10, which is like the first quadcopter that you could buy as a consumer that you didn't have to build. Like came fully built and you could fly. Just take it out of the box and fly. That's like the first time anybody released something like that that had a camera on it. First one. And it's a piece of stuff. So as you can see in this video, you fly the drone with your phone. It uses like the gyro sensors in your phone. You literally just move your phone back and forward or left and right, and it flies the drone back, forward, left and right. So it was really interesting. I was like, all right, well, this is what they want us to fly. This is gonna be a challenge. So I was like, yeah, fine, we can do that, because you know, it's not just me that flies drones, there's a team of us. So it's my partner Dominic, he's the guy who you saw flying in the video, flying it. So we're like, okay, cool. And a couple weeks before the shoot, I actually got a much bigger gig that I couldn't do it anymore, so I passed it off to Dominic, my drone flying partner. And you know, the funny thing is they never told us what time of day that we were gonna be flying until like 2 or 3 weeks before the gig. So when they told us that, we told them, it's like, hey, legally we can't fly at night without a waiver, and we don't have enough time to get a waiver. So we let them know. And they were like, nah, it's cool, everything's fine, we got this. We'll do it during the day or something like that. We still want you to show up. I was like, all right. So obviously a very poorly produced independent film. But either way, so I didn't go. Dom went to set, brought the drone, got there before sunset, and then just sat there and waited. Sun went down, and they're like, okay, cool, let's bring in the drone. And he was like, here's the drone. I can't fly it. Like, we're outside at night. I'm not allowed to fly this. Like, it's pitch black out here. And they're like, what? How come you can't fly it? And he's just like, you don't see all these emails where I was actually emailing you about this and you're responding to it? They're like, oh. And like the legal team was just like, yeah, they can't do that. Like, why would you do this? So what's going on? And long story short, they ended up paying Dom to stand there and tell him that he can't fly a drone, even though he had told them that by email ahead of time. So that's another weird thing, is that a lot of people are incredibly ignorant of drone laws when you're working with them, in that they expect you to be able to do whatever they want you to do. And being able to say no to somebody as a drone pilot is one of the hardest things, but one of the most important things you have to learn how to do. Because if you don't do that, then you'll have directors of photography and, you know, other people just say, well, yeah, I want you to fly right over that crowd, you know, in the middle of the night, and then I want you to pull back and go up to about 1,000 feet, and then bring it down and zoom in real close on that little girl's face. Can we do that? And you're like, no, everything about this is illegal. And that's what you have to be able to say. It's like, no, I can't do that. And even if they don't believe you, you know, you still just get everything in contract and writing, which we did. And we gave them plenty of time to cancel the contract, and they still decided they didn't want to. So they ended up having to learn a lesson financially, and we just got paid to do nothing. So yeah, there you go. There's a story of weird drone stuff. Droners, welcome to Droners. Thank you so much. Droners, thanks for checking out this Droner Dialogue. Always appreciate that. And if you want to appreciate some more of it, bam. Here it is, Droner Dialogue. It's what we do. Or if you want to see more of the dopest video to ever lead off a drone YouTube channel, it is right here. Yeah, I say that every time. It's because you haven't watched it yet. You need to watch it. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe because that allows us to do what we do because we out here. And as always, stay fly.